The Joe Rogan Experience.
Is it amazing to you, as spent so long thinking about otherworldly visitors, that now they're releasing all this information and no one really cares?
The world is in such chaos.
No
now.
one cares.
No one cares.
I couldn't
if
care
this
less.
happened in the middle of the Obama administration and everything was going great, it would be giant news.
And what is the news even, that the Pentagon just can't account for all these unidentified flying objects?
Yeah, they don't. They are.
Okay.
There's some of them that could easily be drones because they're not moving at spectacular speeds.
Right.
They're just sort of like hovering over aircraft carriers. Those could be drones. They could be some new style of drone or some new kind of technology that maybe some foreign government has. But there's other ones that were spotted by Air Force pilots and then tracked, and they have detailed data on the speed of these things. They have video of these things going what appears to be thousands of miles an hour, instantaneously accelerating with no visible propulsion system, no heat signature. They don't know what the fuck this is.
Yeah.
And this is from 2004 off the Nimitz. Commander David Fravor, who was a fighter jet pilot, is like rock solid credentials. You can't. Yeah, and I've talked to the guy. I had him on my podcast, and even better, he was on Lex's podcast, and Lex did an even better job than I did, and talked to him for 2+ hours about this. And the guy's incredibly credible. That fucking thing, whenever he was tracking, went from the Nimitz tracked it. They tracked it on radar. They tracked it with the onboard sensors, the things that they use for targeting enemy crafts. They tracked this thing from the Nimitz. It went 80,000 feet above sea level to 50 feet in a second.
That's crazy.
They don't know what the fuck it is.
They don't know what it is.
They know that it was jamming their radar. They know it was jamming them, and then it moved when it took off at insane rates of speed. They couldn't even watch it. It just, it's gone. And then it re-emerged at the cat point. The cat point is the predetermined location where the jets are supposed to scramble to during this exercise. So it's literally saying, I know where you guys are going.
Right.
You're going over here.
Right.
Whatever the fuck it is, who knows? But does that mean that it's from another planet? No. It could be some fucking insane technology that the military's developed.
That we don't know. It could be
because
DARPA.
have you seen that shit where the military, there's patents for UFO type, see if you can find what those are, because they're developing, or at least they've attempted to develop some sort of gravitational drive that would indicate that at least there's been some thought about developing a craft like that. Now, if you put a person in one of these things and you shot them off thousands of miles an hour, they turn into jello.
Right.
But who says it's a person?
Who knows?
We got a rover on Mars right now taking pictures. There's a helicopter attached to it.
Right.
You got high-resolution photographs from Mars. Here it is. Docs show Navy got UFO patent granted by warning of similar Chinese tech advances. This is what I'm saying. Patent document indicates that the U.S. and China are actively developing radical new craft that seem eerily similar to UFOs reported by Navy pilots. Now, if this is like on paper somewhere where they're trying to get patents and they're telling you that the military already has something like this, what we're getting is years later.
Right.
They've been probably developing shit like this for decades.
Forever.
So they probably have some sort of working thing that can move in extraordinary ways.
We are not going to care until Mars Attack style raid on the White House, like that movie. If you're not going to, if you don't land with ray guns and start blasting people, I don't even give a shit. Like, no one's going to care.
We're real weird with it now.
Yeah.
I've always said that if aliens are real, Earth is the Tijuana of outer space.
You're not kidding.
And they come down here when they're fucked up and they want to see a show.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I'm trying to save Tijuana.
No, nobody's thinking about it. Yeah, it's a place to go, and they mention it in a movie every now and then.
You go see a donkey show.
Yeah.
Robert Rodriguez features it in a vampire movie, and then you get out of there.
It's interesting. It's the one conspiracy that I've never gotten into that much because there's just, the information is so tough to come by that I've just always said nothing would surprise me. Nothing would surprise me.
There's something going on. There's something going on, but what that something is remains to be seen.
Have you seen that video in black that walk into this? It's just two very tall, weird dudes that walk into like a hotel and then leave. Jamie, you can find it easily, and it's just these guys that were supposedly like, something weird happened, and supposedly there are guys that come in like after something weird happens and like shut it down, and they're both very tall and I don't know if it's fake or not. I don't think it is fake though, but I don't know. It could be fake.
Where can one find this video?
It's on YouTube or something. Jamie can find it. It's the real Men in Black. It's like the real, whatever. Supposedly there was something that happened where, I don't know, somebody went in after it. Like somebody had to go respond to something, and these two like weird looking dudes came in. Very strange. There's got to be a Men in Black. If we know about, there's got to be some part of the government that deals with that.
Well, there's two schools of thought, right? One school of thought is that the government is way competent to ever keep anything from anybody.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Right.
And there's other schools of thought where you're like, no, there's a perceived buffoonery that's attached to some level of government, because there's a lot of people in government that are fucking idiots.
Right.
But there's a lot of people that work at UPS that are fucking idiots.
That are idiots, yeah.
But if you get to the highest levels of the organization,
they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to send to the highest levels of the CIA or the NSA, you're going to probably be brilliant.
Right.
What are the odds that you're not?
Right.
You're probably going to have a
good person. No.
The best people.
But
you're going to have a deep
understanding
of
what's going on.
Of foreign policy and how to manipulate things. And
did you not find Black video?
Not really. I found something, but it was like it was animation and stuff. It wasn't really like a hotel. So.
No, I don't know if it was a hotel. There was just two guys that walked in and then left, and they looked very
The video
strange.
I found is it's like a description of events of like that happening. I didn't find actual video. I'm looking.
Well, it's always been one of those things of UFO folklore, right? That these Men in Black folks,
they
look oddly fake. They look like fake-looking skin when they show up.
Yeah.
But that's what I would do. If I was going to go interview some guy about UFOs, you know what I would do? I'd put like weird white makeup on. And I'd dress in a black suit, and I'd ask him strange questions while wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
And I'd have him freak out.
Why not?
Why not fuck with him?
Yeah.
Why not leave him to the point where what he's going to tell all of his friends is so crazy, no one's going to believe it?
Well, that's part of, I think, what a lot of it is.
Imagine if you have an aircraft that's shaped like a pyramid, right? And you're flying it over Philadelphia.
Yeah, here it is.
Okay.
That's all it is. I don't know what this
is,
dudes wearing suits. But it is,
to me, that proves it.
Yeah, what is that?
It proves it to me.
What does it say?
That proves it to me.
Well, what is the Niagara Falls? Show canceled. What is that?
Immediately.
Okay.
What is he saying?
Finally, we have perhaps the most conclusive evidence of the real Men in Black. A hotel in Canada, and the manager was a little disturbed when his bellboy informed him that the previous day the hotel had been visited by two tall men dressed completely in black who demanded to speak to him.
Maybe they were Johnny Cash fans.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean? So they're just this is what's ridiculous with conspiracy theories. Those are
But
two guys wearing
they
suits.
Have eyebrows.
I have a suit. Do you have a suit?
Yes, but I don't think they had eyebrows. Now that
what is this? They had no eyebrows? Oh, see, that's what I would do. I would fucking shave my eyebrows or put some makeup on over them so that I look like a weirdo, and then make them real uncomfortable when they're telling their friends, man, you're not going to fucking believe this. Look at these guys.
Here they are.
Okay, that's got to be from a movie, right? What is that?
Know.
What is that image from? Let that guy play it out. Let's
and
hear
that concludes our look at the Men in Black. But remember,
come on,
guys,
that guy's
this
got
has
striped
been a
ties.
look at just a handful of real-life accounts involving these mystery men. There are many more stories to look at online.
Yeah.
Oh, well, as long as they're online.
It was a British guy. There's the Men in Black. There are many mysteries to look at.
As long as there's more stories.
Yeah, online.
That's
There's
all
more
that's
content online we can sink our teeth into.
Catch new episodes of The Joe Experience for free only on Spotify. Watch back catalog JRE videos on Spotify, including clips. Easily, seamlessly switch between video and audio experience. On Spotify, you can listen to the JRE in the background while using other apps and can download episodes to save on data cost, all for free. Spotify is absolutely free. You don't have to have a premium account to watch new JRE episodes. You just need to search for the JRE on your Spotify app. Go to Spotify now to get this full episode of The Joe Rogan Experience.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
What did you think about when they attached in the COVID relief bill 180 days for the CIA to release all the information they have about UFOs? Did you see that?
It's one of the things I love about this.
We can go from there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we can't be taken seriously that way.
No. But I will say this. I tell people this all the time. They say, why is it so entertaining? I say, because he's curious about everything. He's genuinely curious about everything, and it's a good question. Look, I'm happy that when it comes to UFOs, there's a lot of things that the agency needs to keep off the radar, right? For source methods, right? It's a need to know issue. And frankly, again, going back to what's in the U.S. best interest, for that day when China decides to release all of their intel operations and information, then great. Maybe it's time for us to be transparent. But that's not the way the world works.
Do you think that's what it is? Of it is just secret programs, defense vehicles?
Well, no. What I'm saying is in terms of the UFO thing, a great portion of it is. Yeah, a great portion of it is
50%.
Oh, now the 47% actually. But anybody has said that, that's well known inside the community. Look, I think it's good because I think it's for the same reason the Pentagon released the information about ATIP, about the Advanced Aeronautical Threat Identification Program. I think it's actually good. There's no reason why we shouldn't, unless you are talking about developmental aircraft as an example, right? Which is important. Because whether you're talking about hypersonic aircraft or missiles or whatever it is, there's some stuff that needs to be kept off the radar screen because there is a tremendous competition going on right now particularly for things like control of space. That's going to be a huge issue, right? Yeah. Because the weaponization of space. For a long time, people were thinking, space, it's a great exploration and it's good for mankind. And frankly, there is a race to figure out how to weaponize space. And so, as an example of what we're talking about, the idea of just saying, we're going to open the books as a country and reveal all our information about developmental aircraft as an example, that's the wrong move, right?
Do you think there are incredible stories, whether it's from Commander David Fravor, who saw that Tic Tac vehicle off the coast of San Diego, or whatever video?
Yeah. If I had to point to one, I would say Fravor. Yeah. I would say without a doubt, I'd say the one that, if I were somebody who's looking for some redemption, because I've been beating the drum about UFOs and nobody's ever believed me, they always roll their eyes, I would say the one thing that would give them comfort would be the incident with Commander Fravor and that sighting. Mm-hmm. That's one that I have yet to see an explanation for that makes any sense.
Well, not only that, there's Practice.
Yeah.
Like there's
and
then also it blocked their radar systems, which is an act of war. It actively jammed radar systems. It's not simple as like they saw something, they didn't know what it was. Like they tracked this thing going from I think it was close to 80,000 feet above sea level to down in 1 second.
Yeah, no signs of motion.
Yeah,
no heat signatures, nothing. Right, and it was a. Yeah, it's one of those things you look at and you go, okay. And look, the ATIP program made sense in the sense that, if a nation is out there, if the Chinese are out there or the Russians or whomever, and they're developing propulsion capability that we don't know about, then, we should have a mechanism within the Pentagon, within the intel community to understand what that is. Let's research it. Let's investigate, right? And so oftentimes, they come to a logical conclusion. The Fravor incident, I have yet to see any information that explains it, right? So that to me, and also, as you pointed out, the way that it was tracked, the verification of it from very credible, individuals, that to me is like the prime example.
And they have video footage of this thing too.
Yes,
and then on top
and they have gun camera footage that's incredible.
Saying that these things are fairly common, that they're seeing them every couple of weeks. Yeah. They were seeing them, and when Fravor's like, "Hey guys, what the fuck is this?" and they're like, "Yeah, you see it?
Yeah,
we've been seeing these things."
And there's no side for somebody like that, a very well respected, aviator. With great experience, there's no upside for these guys to come forward, right? In fact, there's pressure to not, because it's not necessarily good for your career, right? To come in and say, "I think I saw a UFO," right?
What do you think is going?
I don't know. We've talked about that before. I'm not,
I'm trying to get the right. Forget what you said before.
Yeah, I know, right? You forgot about the damn bet. I shouldn't have opened my mouth. I know. I'll go back to that, though. They would have called me out. If Trump comes back and runs, they would have said, oh, you owe him $1,000.
Can't wait to get that Screaming Eagle in here that I'm going to buy.
I'm going to I'll buy it for you with them, and I'll put a little plaque on there to say where it came from.
Big Bronze Eagle.
I know, big. Oh, God. I've got one. I gave a speech for a Veterans Day event, and it was very kind. They gave me this big eagle. I keep it in my office now. It's fantastic. I keep it in the background when I do news segments from my office, and it's like perched over my shoulder.
Nice.
You got to have one in here. Anyway, I don't know.
You think about it at all?
Yeah, I do. In the terms of and like I said, with Black Files Declassified coming up, I just got another plug-in. We're going to do an episode
That's on the
Discovery Channel, and you know what? You can see the entire first season on Discovery Plus. So I think it's foolish to discount these things because there's so much we don't know, right? So, and the idea of thinking that somehow we're the only credible life forms out there, I think is ridiculous. So, I think there's a high possibility that that there's I do think that, but at the same time, then I also question sort of the way that. That's great. If some alien life force with amazing technology that we can't even fathom right now comes to visit us, then what the hell are they doing? Are they just sort of like watching us just for the entertainment value? Or what? So I'm always puzzled by that part. Like, the idea that, I don't know.
Well, they probably want to observe, but they won't want to interfere. Mm-hmm. There's probably, if they're super advanced, they probably realize there's a process that intelligent life goes through where there's stages of their evolutionary development in terms of use of technology, understanding of each other, mitigation of war and conflict, and then ultimately entrance into the Galactic Federation. Catch new episodes of The Joe Experience for free only on Spotify. Watch back catalog JRE videos on Spotify, including clips. Easily, seamlessly switch between video and audio experience. On Spotify, you can listen to the JRE in the background while using other apps and can download episodes to save on data cost, all for free. Spotify is absolutely free. You don't have to have a premium account to watch new JRE episodes. You just need to search for the JRE on your Spotify app. Go to Spotify now to get this full episode of the Joe Rogan Experience.